Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we will be learning on forfeiture of shares. Today I'll be taking up a gist of forfeiture of shares issued at par, issued at premium and reissue of forfeited shares. So let's get started. Now basics of forfeiture I had discussed in the last video. If all of you who have problem in forfeiture of shares starting, then you can view my previous video, and this is a gist or a kind of revision for the entire forfeiture and reissue topic. Okay, so first we need to understand that in case of forfeiture of shares, we can segregate it into two parts. One is forfeiture of those shares which are issued at par. Issued at par means at the face value. And another is forfeiture of those shares which are issued at premium. So forfeiture of shares which are issued at par, I had discussed in the last video, and here I am just writing what do we do. So we'll just take a recap. Okay, whenever shares are being forfeited which were originally issued at par, then the journal entries, first of all you cancel the shares. So share capital account gets debited with what amount? We said that it gets debited with called up amount. Now what is called up amount? So let us understand once more. See, since I am talking about forfeiture of shares which are issued at par, suppose the face value of was 10 rupees and the amounts were something like this: application 2, allotment 3, maybe first call was 2 and second and final call was 3. So here we see that the total we get as 10 rupees. I am discussing now what is called up value. Please understand, this 10 rupees is the face value. Called up value is that part of share capital or that part of face value which the company has actually called from the public, since the company calls the money in installments. So it's not necessary that forfeiture happens only after all the calls are being made. ऐसा कहीं नहीं लिखा है कि हर पूरे calls हो जाए उसके बाद ही forfeit कर सकते हैं. No, it is company's decision. वो जब चाहे, if the shareholder has not paid the amount on shares, the company has the right to forfeit the shares. We discussed this, that forfeiture means taking away the shares, taking back the shares or cancelling the shares. Excuse me. So here in case of forfeiture, we will see that suppose in the question, if I say that the company had called application money, the company had called allotment money and the company had called first call money. In such a case, the called up amount is just rupees 7. Whereas the face value is 10. Yes, the company will call the final call, but it has not been called up yet. Why do we debit share capital only with the called up amount is because if you are thorough with the entries of issue of shares, you know that at the time of application we do the entry of receipt and then transfer to share capital. At the time of allotment we do the entry of received and due and transfer to share capital. At the time of first call we do the entry of due and transfer to share capital. That means कंपनी ने शेयर कैपिटल अकाउंट में क्रिएट ही कितना किया है? कंपनी ने अभी तक 7 रुपीज ही क्रिएट किए हैं. 7 rupees has only been credited in share capital. So you cannot, while you are cancelling the shares, you cannot debit more. The amount which the company has credited, only that much can be debited to cancel of the shares. Correct? So that is why in case of share forfeiture, you'll have to first understand that how much had the company credited share capital account. It can be full. It can be rupees 10 when the entire amount was called up. I am deliberately taking a lesser amount being called up. And now in case of, so we understood one thing, that one is fully called up. Fully called up means entire 10 rupees has been called. This can be one case. Or second can be, that entire face value 10 rupees, there can be an amount of called up. So in our example which we are taking, called up is 7 and the remaining 3 is called uncalled. Uncalled means the company has not yet called from the public. Now out of this 7, again there can be two cases. There can be paid up. There can be paid up and there can be unpaid. Now what is that? Paid up means, in our example, let us take that suppose the shareholder paid application money and he paid allotment money. That is, he paid 5 rupees. He did not pay 2 rupees. So your paid up amount would be 5 and unpaid amount would be 2. So what we understood first, that whatever is the face value, there can be some amount called up and some can be uncalled. See, called up plus uncalled gives you the entire face value, and paid up plus unpaid gives you the called up value. Okay, so these are small things you will require later on. Okay, let us come back to forfeiture of shares issued at par. Share capital account is always debited with called up amount. Then we do to share forfeited account or to share forfeiture account. With what amount? This is credited with amount received on the shares which we are forfeiting. Whatever amount you have already received goes in share forfeited account, and the remaining amount which was due and not received, either you can write like this. So suppose share amount is not received on share first call, so you can write that. In case share was not received on second call, you can write that. Or instead of these both, you can directly write the word 2 calls in arrears account. Both ways are equally correct, but you just need to understand what comes here, what amount will come here. The amount would be amount due but not received. The word due is very important. See, the example which I took right now here I cannot write 3 in share second call because this 3 rupees was not called up. So let's do quickly. If I do the journal entry for such a question, let us take an example. The question is already there in front of us. So let us say a shareholder did not pay first call. So shareholder did not pay first call on his 300 shares and his shares were forfeited. Let us quickly take an example only. Were forfeited. So what will be the journal entry here? We can clearly say that the journal entry will be share capital account you will debit. So see, in our example, called up amount is 7. Share capital will be debited by 300 into 7, which is 2100. 2. Share forfeiture account. How much amount we've already received? So we said 2 and 3. Application allotment amount is already received. So 300 into 5 comes to 1500. And 2. Now either you can write share first call or you can write calls in arrears. Since these are, I'm just doing the entry of forfeiture, then it's my wish I can write share first call account or I can write calls in arrears account. But suppose if the question was complete in detail from the start, if you had to do the entry of application, allotment, first call, and then you were supposed to do the entry of forfeiture, then you need to see what entry you did at the time of first call. If you are maintaining calls in arrears account, then it is necessary that you have to credit calls in arrears here, because see, calls in arrears is an asset. Call amount which is receivable, it's an asset, so we debit it. So we'll have to close this account, we'll have to credit. But in our case, if suppose you have not maintained calls in arrears account, then share first call will be credited. So with how much amount is it credited? With the amount due. Amount due was 2. 300 into 2, which is 600. Here you will see and you will understand that shared second call is not coming in picture at all because the amount was not called by the company. Okay. Okay. Now, so this was all about forfeiture of shares which are issued at par. Now coming on to forfeiture of shares which are issued at premium. Let me take a good amount of space here. So for those which are issued at premium. Now for this, first we need to understand that why am I discussing about issued at par separately and issued at premium separately? What's the major reason? You need to understand that whenever shares are issued at premium, we credit a securities premium account. Wait, I'll write somewhere down so that even you all can note it later on. So I'll write in this column. See, whenever shares are issued at premium, that premium amount goes in a account known as securities premium account, right? This securities premium account is a restricted reserve. What do you mean by restricted reserve? See, whenever this premium word comes to our mind, we always feel that okay, 10 रुपीज का शेयर 12 रुपए में दिया, 10 रुपीज का शेयर 15 रुपीज में दिया, तो 2 रुपीज प्रॉफिट हो गया कंपनी को, 5 रुपीज प्रॉफिट हो गया. यस, प्रॉफिट हुआ है, बट कंपनीज एक्ट अभी जो रिसेंट है, जैसे 2013 की बात करें, कंपनीज एक्ट ने वो प्रॉफिट जो 2 रुपीज 5 रुपीज वॉट एवर इज द प्रॉफिट, उसे रिस्ट्रिक्ट करके रखा है. रिस्ट्रिक्ट करके रखा है मतलब Companies Act says that any amount which you've received in the name of securities premium can be used only for 5 purposes. It can be used only for 5 purposes. 5 purposes means issue of bonus shares, then there is commission payable, then premium on redemption of preference shares, then buyback of own shares. So there are some preliminary expenses. So there are 5 purposes mentioned in the Companies Act for which securities premium can be used. Yeah, this is a theoretical question which can come in your exams, that what are the 5 purposes in which securities premium account can be used. So do go through it very well. Okay. Right now, I'm not going much into it, else we will, shift from our main forfeiture of shares. So we'll go back to forfeiture. So what important part I want to say here is, if securities premium account if any amount is received in the name of securities premium, then that profit gets restricted and can be used for only 5 purposes. In those 5 purposes, nowhere forfeiture is mentioned. So if suppose some shares are being forfeited, if some shares are forfeited on which we had received premium, see, up till now at the time of issue, what we were saying at the time of issue that share forfeited account, what goes in share forfeited? Amount received. Whatever amount is received, it goes in share forfeited, and that is our profit. But in case of premium, you will see here there will be a twist. Amount received, but if that is received in the name of premium, that will not be our profit. That amount gets restricted. So let us quickly write what we want to say, then we will understand better. So issued at premium, again I am deliberately dividing into 2 cases. First case where premium is received. If premium is received, then this becomes clearly like issued at par only. But what if premium is not received? After this explanation, we'll be taking many questions, many short questions where we'll understand the whole concept very well. Okay, so in case premium is received, then your entry for forfeiture becomes almost same, where you debit share capital with called up value. My dear students, you guys already know that share capital account में कभी भी premium नहीं आता है. Share capital is always credited with the face value. Premium does not come. So premium is not being taken. Now, since premium, generally whenever securities premium is due, you credit securities premium, but here premium is received. Premium is received, so there is no need to cancel the premium. So premium word will not come in the entire question, you will see. Then to share forfeited account, what comes in share forfeited account? Amount received on shares, but I'll write it in 2 ways. Either you write amount received on shares minus premium received. Since premium you've already received, that is not your profit, that goes in securities premium account directly. Or I could have just written as amount of face value received. I could have written like that. Amount of face value received on shares. Premium will never come in share forfeited account. Remember, premium will never come in share forfeited account. And then 2 share calls, or I'll just write calls in arrears for amount which is due but not received. Amount due but not received. Okay. Now, in case premium is not received, premium is not received is a case where premium was due but not received. आपने premium का amount call किया था. तो to understand, first I'll write the entry and then we'll take up a example. So here it will be something like this. we will first of all, share capital account will again be debited by called up value. Again and again I'm saying that only face value comes into picture. In this case, securities premium account will also be debited. Why? See, here premium was received. Both case there is issued at premium. इशूड एट प्रीमियम मीन्स आप सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम को भी क्रिएट करते हो, क्रेडिट करते हो. बट अगर सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम का पैसा मिल जाता है तो देन उसे रिजेक्ट या रिवर्स करने की, कैंसिल करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. इसीलिए आप देखेंगे कि जब प्रीमियम को रिसीव हुआ है तब सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम फिर से डेबिट नहीं होता. ये सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम या शेयर कैपिटल, ये दो अकाउंट्स हम जो डेबिट कर रहे हैं, व्हाट आर वी डूइंग एक्चुअली, हम अकाउंट्स को कैंसिल कर रहे हैं. बट अगर सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम मिल गया है तो यहां पे आप सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम को फिर से डेबिट नहीं करेंगे बिकॉज प्रीमियम इज ऑलरेडी रिसीव्ड. बट इन केस प्रीमियम वॉज ड्यू बट नॉट रिसीव्ड, then you will debit. So I can write it as premium which was due. Why do I again and again write the word due is कि पहले तो आपने कॉल करना चाहिए. If the company has not called up, then the company has not created that account. At the time of calling allotment money, first call, second call, whatever, wherever there is a premium, तब फिर आप सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम को क्रेडिट करते हो. अगर कॉल ही नहीं किया तो आपने अकाउंट क्रिएट ही नहीं किया. सो प्रीमियम इफ इट वॉज ड्यू बट इट इज नॉट रिसीव्ड, then you will debit it. If it is due and it is received, it does not come in forfeiture entry. Okay, so here there is one more entry. Then to share forfeited account. So we know that what goes in share forfeited account. Share forfeited account goes amount received on shares minus premium received is if any. Now you say, ma'am, how premium received is coming? See, there can be questions where suppose the premium was on allotment and first call both. The shareholder gave the allotment money but the shareholder did not pay the first call money. So here what is happening, allotment का securities premium मिल चुका है, वो डायरेक्टली सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम अकाउंट में चला गया होगा, तो वो जो अमाउंट मिल चुका है वो शेयर फोरफिटेड में एज अ प्रॉफिट नहीं माना जाएगा. सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम का वो अमाउंट जो नहीं मिला है वो आप डेबिट करेंगे और वो हमारे यहाँ पे टू शेयर फर्स्ट कॉल या टू कॉल्स इन अरियर्स में आएगा. वॉट एवर अमाउंट इज ड्यू बट नॉट रिसीव्ड. सी, यू मस्ट हैव नोटिस दैट whenever I'm talking about calls in arrears word, I always say due but not received. So this due amount can include face value and include premium also. We'll directly take up an example to understand this better. Amount due but not received. So I'll take up a complicated question itself so that we understand in one go. Let us take a question where our application amount, so face value is 10 plus premium is 3 rupees. Application 2, allotment is 2 plus 2. This 2 is face value, this 2 is premium. First call is 3 plus 1 rupees premium and my second and final call is 3. So first check 3 plus 3 6 and this face value becomes 10 and premium becomes 2. Okay. Now suppose the question says that the company had called up application, allotment and first call. A shareholder holding suppose 500 shares paid the application and allotment money but failed to pay the first call and the company forfeited the shares. Why I am drawing a line here is because here again I am taking up a question where second and final call is not yet been called. वो पैसा कंपनी ने अभी तक मंगवाया ही नहीं है. ठीक है. Okay, so how will the entry be done? Let us see. So first my solution will be share capital account will be debited with how much amount? Share capital account will be debited by 500 shares into how much is the face value which has been called up. We say share capital is always debited with the called up value. So face value is 2 plus 2 4 5 6 7 rupees, right? Face value 500 into 7 which is 3,500. Now securities premium account debit. See, there is securities premium at the time of allotment. There is securities premium at the time of first call. What did we write in our when premium is not received? We said that securities premium is debited only with the premium due and not received. Here there is 2 rupees premium which is received and there is 1 rupees premium which is not received. So you will debit securities premium with only that amount which is not received. That means 500 into 1, which comes to 500. These are on the debit side. Coming on to credit side, 2 share forfeited, and either you can write this, I'll write deliberately, I'll write later on, and 2 share first call or 2 calls in arrears. Generally it's completely your wish, but calls in arrears, writing calls in arrears is a better option. Though right now, to make you guys understand, I'm writing the word shares first call. Okay, now see again, calls in arrears or share first call, what amount goes? Amount due but not received. How much was the amount due at the time of first call? See, the amount due was 3 plus 1, 4. Please understand. The total amount which you called at the time of first call was 4 rupees. So here in case of share first call, the amount which will be 500 into 4, which is 2000. Okay, and one way is to take out share forfeited as a balancing figure. Then I'll make you understand how this amount came. But so right, this is 3500 plus 5000, 4000 minus 2000. My balancing figure share forfeited is coming 2000. One way, if you don't want to make a mistake and if you are very sure that rest of the entries which you've done are correct. Another way to take out share forfeited was, we say that share forfeited is amount received minus premium received. Understand, how much have we received? So we have received this 2 rupees. We have received this 2 plus 2, 4 rupees. Total we have received 6 rupees, right? But in this 6 rupees, there is 2 rupees premium. You have to subtract that premium, because we say amount received minus premium received. So how much is the face value we received? We received face value 4. This amount. We received face value 4. And this will come. So share forfeited account is 500 into 4, which you realize comes to 2000. Okay. That is, these are the only cases which is possible at the time of forfeiture. So either it can be issued at par, issued at premium. When premium is received, then securities premium does not come into the picture. But when premium is not received, at that time securities premium is debited. However, this part was again important, because when premium is received, what you need to take care and what you need to remember is that in share forfeited, premium received has to be subtracted. It is only the face value which comes in share forfeited. Okay. Now, let me discuss reissue also here. Reissue of forfeited shares. When we come on to reissue of forfeited shares, you have to first understand that the shares which are being reissued, they are reissued at the market value. Now in such a case, see, we have discussed that originally shares cannot be issued at discount, though in some of the classes in some of the state boards, they do tell us to solve such questions, and for that I have taught. But we need to know that as per Companies Act, shares cannot be issued at discount. Original shares cannot be issued at discount. When you are reissuing forfeited shares, they can be issued at discount. So here there can be 3 cases. Suppose my shares which were forfeited has a face value of 10 rupees. So there can be 3 cases when they are issued at discount. Let us take an example only to understand. Suppose I am taking discount as 8 rupees. They can be issued at par. That is 10 rupees ka share at 10 rupees. They can be issued at premium. So 10 rupees share is issued at 12 rupees. Okay. Let us check how we will do the question in all these 3 cases. For this, let me first again take up a question of forfeiture, because once I know what is the, for reissue of forfeited shares, you need to first have the entry of forfeited shares ka entry. Once you know that, then reissue becomes simple, and then we'll do we'll take up an example of reissue also. So let us take an example where I'm saying that a company have a shareholder holding 300 shares. His shares are being forfeited for non-payment of first call and final call. I'm taking an example here. Okay, so application face value is 10. Here I'm taking issued at par only. Or let me take a case of issued at premium. So my question is rupees 10 face value and 2 rupees premium. Application 10, if not, if nothing is mentioned, we always say that premium amount is included in face value. In allotment, premium amount is always included in allotment. So application was 2 rupees. Allotment was 3 plus 2 rupees premium. First call is suppose 3 rupees and second call is 2 rupees. Now let us read the question. The question says 300 shares forfeited for non-payment of first and final call. That means application and allotment money has been paid. First and final call both have not been paid. So in this question, first of all, my called up value and face value is equal, which is 10. And premium is 2. Because here I have called up all the 4 amounts. Okay. What will be my forfeiture entry? So my forfeiture entry would be share capital account is always debited with called up value. Called up value in our case is entire 10 rupees. 300 into 10, 3000. Okay. Then this is 300 into 10. Will securities premium be debited? See, this is a question of securities premium, but securities premium is already received. We learned here that if securities premium is received, then securities premium is never debited. So, since we've received securities premium, my forfeiture entry will have nothing about securities premium. I can directly write to share forfeited account. And how much amount will go in share forfeited? We said that amount received minus premium received. That is 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 7 minus premium 2, which is 5. Or I also said that only the face value which you receive. The premium if you receive, you do not take in share forfeited account because that is not your profit. Premium amount is a restricted reserve. That is why 2 plus 3, 5. So 300 into 5. 1500 to share first call. Now, this is the amount which is not received. Let me write calls in arrears here in this question. So, how much is the calls in arrears? 3 plus 2, entire 5 rupees is calls in arrears. 300 into 5, which is 1500. Okay. So, this is my forfeiture entry. Now, taking this entry as base, I will do reissue. So suppose the entire 300 shares is now being reissued at a discount of 8. What will be the entry? So the entry would be first bank account debit. At the time of reissue, there are some words called as fully called up, fully paid up. In my example, it is fully paid up. What do you mean by fully paid up or fully called up? That means I am giving to the shareholder 10 रुपए का शेयर 8 रुपीज में दिया जा रहा है. इसके बाद 2 रुपीज और कॉल्ड अप नहीं होंगे. 8 रुपीज फाइनल है. आप 8 रुपीज दे दो और शेयर ले लो. ठीक है. सो बैंक अकाउंट विल बी डेबिटेड बाय 300 into 8, which is 2400. Then bank account debit. Whenever the shares are issued at discount, the discount is settled off with share forfeited account. You will debit share forfeited with 2 rupees. Why? Because see, share capital has to be credited by, since they are fully called up, has to be credited by 300 into 10, 3000. I am creating the shares fully in my books, but I am receiving lesser amount. Discount goes in share forfeited account, 600. There is also this provision in Companies Act that this discount cannot exceed the amount which we've received on share forfeiture. What do I mean when I say this? See, whenever forfeited shares are being reissued at a discount, वो discount को आप किसके साथ एडजस्ट करते हैं, शेयर फोरफीटेड अकाउंट के साथ एडजस्ट करते हैं. तो इज इट पॉसिबल दैट मैं ये शेयर्स को डिस्काउंट पे इशू करती है एट 4 रुपीज? If I issue at 4 rupees, then what would have happened? Understand. If I would have issued at 4 rupees, बैंक ये लिखना मत, जस्ट एन एक्सप्लेनेशन. बैंक आप डेबिट करते 4 3s are 1200, लेकिन आप शेयर कैपिटल को क्रेडिट कर देते 300 into 10 3000. एंड जो डिस्काउंट होता है हम शेयर फोरफीटेड अकाउंट में डेबिट करते हैं, सो वो डेबिट हो जाता 1800 आप शेयर फोरफिटेड डेबिट कर रहे हो, बट आप देखेंगे आपके शेयर फोरफिटेड अकाउंट में बैलेंस है ही कितना? You just have 1500. So maximum discount which you could give is 1500. That is why such a case where you are issuing at 4 is not possible. So I'll just delete it, or I'll just rub it because I need to write the next entry also. So discount will always be lesser or equal to the amount which you received on forfeited shares. It cannot be more than amount which is received on forfeited shares. Though it will not come in question, this can just come as a true or false. So for theoretical part, you need to know the provision, but in questions they cannot give, because if you are issuing at rupees 4, the company cannot proceed with issuing. Okay. Are we finished when we do this entry of reissue? No. At the time of reissue, dear, there are two entries. One entry is bank debit, share forfeited debit to share capital, and the next entry is, now you will realize that all the shares which were forfeited have been reissued, and out of this 1500 in my forfeited account, 600 got adjusted. The remaining amount is now my profit, net profit, which goes in capital reserve. So now I will close my share forfeited account. So share forfeited account will be debited to capital reserve. So when does share forfeited account get debited? Does the share forfeited account get closed when shares are being reissued? I'll say partly correct. Why? Because share forfeited account has to be closed only when all the shares which were forfeited are being reissued. मतलब 300 शेयर्स आपने फोरफिट किए, वो टोटली रीइश्यू कर दिए, तो शेयर फोरफिटेड अकाउंट आपको क्लोज करना पड़ेगा. अगर पार्शियली, सपोज 300 में से ओनली 200 शेयर्स वर बीइंग फोरफिटेड, so in that case only 200 shares were being reissued. In that case 100 shares का amount अभी भी pending रहेगा. I'll come on to that part also. Wait. So if you're able to understand this part, out of 1500, 600 you'll subtract, so 900. Now you will check that 1500 which was debited, and here 609, 1500 was credited first. Now 600 and 900, 1500 is credited. Share forfeited account is closed. Okay. This was a case of issued at discount. Now what if issued at par? So I'll write issued at par again so that we don't get confused. Suppose my forfeiture entry is the same, but now I'm issuing these shares at par, that is rupees 10. So my first entry would be bank debit 300 into 10, 3000. This will be easy. To share capital, here there is no discount, 300 into 10, 3000. And my entire forfeited, since I am reissuing all the shares which are forfeited, जितने shares forfeit हुए आप totally reissue कर रहे हो, so आपके forfeiture account में balance कितना बचा? पूरा 1500 बैलेंस है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे शेयर फोरफिटेड अकाउंट कुछ एडजस्ट हुआ ही नहीं है. दैट इज वाई दिस एंटायर अमाउंट नाउ बिकम्स माय नेट प्रॉफिट एंड विल बी ट्रांसफर्ड टू कैपिटल रिजर्व. The question will just mention do the entries for forfeiture and reissue, but you need to know that when you are doing the entry of forfeiture and reissue, you have to do this entry of transfer to capital reserve, 3000. Okay. And third case, issued at premium. So in case of issued at premium, that is 12 rupees. Bank debit, now you received 300 into 12, 3600. But how much can go in share capital? Only the face value 300 into 10, 3000, and the remaining 600 becomes our securities premium. See, only the discount is adjusted with share forfeited account. The premium again As per Companies Act, if you take any amount as premium, it has to go in securities premium. Here, I cannot take it as a profit and cannot go in share forfeited account. So, securities premium 600. And again, you will see in this question that no, I have share forfeited account 1500 on my credit side and nothing is being debited. So, the entire, when I want to close this account, share forfeited account will be debited by, oh sorry, here also I made a mistake. It is not 3000, it is 1500. Whatever amount is left in share forfeiture will get transferred to capital reserve. But in what case? In case if all the shares which were forfeited were being reissued. I think, repeated it now for some 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, so now let's take an example that what happens if suppose only 200 shares were reissued at par. Only if 200 shares were reissued at par. Now, what is a case where I had forfeited 300 shares? So, I'll write the amount here only. In my share forfeited account, you can see that there is a credit balance of 1500. But this 1500 is for how many shares? This 1500 is for 300 shares. Out of these 300 shares which I was forfeiting, I am now reissuing 200 shares at par. So, what will my entry be? My first entry would be bank debit to share capital, now only on 200 shares. So 200 into 10, 200 into 10, 2000, 2000. And here, can I do the entry of share forfeited account debit to capital reserve 1500? Is it allowed? No, it is not allowed. This is wrong. Why? You will say that ma'am no amount is being adjusted with share forfeiture, तो पूरा account close हो जाएगा. इस question में पूरा account close नहीं होगा. The simple reason is 1500 जो आपके पास amount है वो 300 shares के लिए. उसमें से पूरे रीइश्यू हुए क्या? नहीं हुए. आपने सिर्फ 200 शेयर्स रीइश्यू किए, तो सिर्फ वो 200 का प्रॉफिट अब आप कैपिटल रिजर्व में लेके जा सकते हो. सो अगर 300 पे अमाउंट 1500 है तो 200 पे कितना? यू कैन डू क्रॉस मल्टीप्लीकेशन और यू नो 300 into 5 is 1500, so 200 into 5 is 1000. मतलब in this case, how much amount will be cancelled from share forfeited account? Only 1000. 500 will still be left. This 500 will be still left. And when will that get transferred to capital reserve? Once those remaining 100 shares are being reissued. Okay. This is the entire concept of share forfeiture along with reissue. I was first planning to take up questions here itself, but in my next video, we'll just be doing many questions on share forfeiture, reissue, and only the questions on forfeiture and reissue. A little bit part of shares being issued on pro rata allotment basis, on pro rata basis, and if those shares are being forfeited, that is also one technical part which is left, which I'll be discussing in my next video, along with taking up maximum questions possible on forfeiture and reissue. So stay tuned, and if you have any queries, feel free to contact me. Take care.